Hello, welcome back to another one of my videos. I'm Crazy Boy. Today we're going to be talking about an actual spell. This spell is called the Altaruser Bind spell. The reason for this spell is mainly because it actually connects you to your altar. The idea behind the spell is you actually get two pieces of jewelry, and one piece you actually take with you while the other piece gets left behind. The main thing with this is that they both actually stay connected. Of course, this piece of jewelry would stay on your altar while this one goes with you. Therefore, there's that connection. It's kind of almost like a spiritual umbilical cord that is actually still connected to you and your altar. The reason for this spell, sometimes I can't always be by my altar, or I'm not always near it. Sometimes I'm traveling, sometimes I'm going here or there. And sometimes I just don't have enough time to, be at my altar, do the actual ritual, do the actual spellcraft on top of my altar. For me, I've just always found that doing this spell keeps you closer to your altar, but also helps you out in practicing your visualizations as well. So the main thing I would recommend about this spell is that if you are an altar user and you don't have an altar traveling kit with you, I would recommend to do this spell. Now, people who do have altar traveling kits, I give you props. I don't own one. I think I would think it would be too much of a hassle to, open it up and take all of the stuff and then do the ritual and then close it all back, and just that kind of hassle. And I think taking you through the airport may be kind of hard as well. So this spell I really recommend for people who don't have that privilege. Okay. The ingredients you'll be needing, of course, the first thing is two pieces of jewelry. One piece will be left on top of the altar, while the other one is actually the one you're going to be taking with you or carrying with you. Make sure that the piece of jewelry that you are using is jewelry that you can put on easily, that you know that you will remember, and that you'll just slip it on and walk out the door. Another thing, this spell must be done on top of your altar or on top of wherever you do your your rituals or your spells, because that's the place where you want to still be connected to. The next thing you'll be needing is a ribbon or a piece of rope. It really doesn't matter, anything that can tie really well, because that signifies the bind, the tying of something. And the next thing is to make it in a figure 8. What we are doing in this spell, what we are asking the universe, is we are asking that they bind these two pieces of jewelry together. The next thing you'll be needing is a incense burner. It can be any kind. It can even be the long one. You can actually put it long ways this way. It doesn't really matter, just as long as you have something to burn your Vista or Vesta powder. I really don't know how to pronounce it. With this stuff, it has many uses. One use is actually, let's say your spells aren't doing very well, or you feel that you need a little bit more power to them. This actually amplifies energies, and it amplifies anywhere where you do rituals or anywhere you have sacred grounds and stuff like that. So this really amplifies it. Also, it's a good cleansing. It actually cleanses room. You would put a little bit in a incense burner, light it, puff of smoke would come out, open up your doors, you'd actually see the smoke leaving your house. That's all the negativity actually leaving your house. So that's another good way. This also seals up stuff. That's why we're using it in this ritual as the ending part, because once it burns, it seals up both of these pieces of jewelry. Okay, and it is very optional. Let's say you wanted to wear this now instead of that, you can actually just switch them out, and again, this would stay on the altar while this would go with you. So it's very versatile. You can do it either or, but you would have to redo the ritual again if you want to switch out the jewelry pieces. Okay. All right. So the first thing you're going to be doing is, when you start the spell, the first thing that the spell asks for is that you sit in front of your altar for 5 minutes and you look at every single detail of your altar. Where the candles are positioned, where crystals that you have, where oils are placed, where stones that you found are placed. Anything, even leftover wax that's spilled from a candle. Anything, any scratches, any burns that you may have had. Anything on the altar that you can imagine it for 5 minutes. Memorize it. After the 5 minutes, close your eyes, move your head around. If you still can see this altar still in your mind, that means you successfully visualized it in your mind. So after you're done with that, the next thing you will do is we are going to actually say the chant for it. Now the thing with this chant though is once you say the chant, the actions have to be made during the chant. Okay, so I'm just going to show y'all so y'all can see how it works, and then after that, you know, y'all can do it yourselves, and then I'll explain a little bit more about this spell. Okay, so what you do, and remember your left hand is actually the one that will light the Vista powder. So the words are: moon, sun, day and night, I bind these charms with love and might. In unknown journeys to sacred grounds, this bind I cast holds no bounds. I hold this charm close and tight, sun and moon, day and night. Alright, so after that's done, now these two pieces of jewelry are actually binded. They're actually connected to each other. So let's say, for instance, you're traveling somewhere, or you know, you're hanging out with your friends or with your loved one, and let's say, or even you're walking in a nature walk and you see something beautiful. You know, you want to share that with your altar, or with your deity, or with your god or goddess. You would close the item inside your hand and close your eyes, and bam, you're right there in front of your altar. Even if you feel that you would need to do a spell at that moment, you can actually visualize yourself doing the spell. So there you go. I'm really happy that I got to share this spell with y'all. I hope y'all do it as well. Thank you for watching, and blessed be.